and now. Yesterday I spoke to our guest speaker, who's about to come out. And you know, there are people who have little money and they're happy. There are people who have little money and they're miserable. There are people who have a lot of money and they're miserable too.
Yes.
And there are people who have a lot of money and they're just ecstatic and they've got loads of projects and they love life and they're really alive. And Pedro Nunes, do I pronounce it like that? More or less? Is one of those people, and I could tell that just from speaking to him for 5 minutes yesterday. So I'm now going to introduce him officially as I have on the paper. Another guest speaker from Portugal is Pedro Nunes, member of Pedro Agora Speakers, the first club in Portugal. Woo, for Portugal. This year he got his financial freedom, leaving his secure job after 20 years as a police investigator. So big, massive round of applause for Pedro.
So good morning to everyone. My name is Pedro, and today I will share with you my story, which I call it the Odyssey for Financial Freedom. I am 45 years old. My birthday was 3 days ago. Thank you. And I was a police officer for more than 20 years. And for me, it was like a dream. The possibility at the same time to fight crime and make justice. And I must confess to you that I never thought I would do anything else for the rest of my life. At that time, it was my identity, and I was really obsessed about it. But life, in its supreme wisdom, helped us to grow. For me, love and evolution are the greatest forces of the universe. And I sincerely believe that we must evolve from the day we were born until the day we die. So, as I was saying, life has put in my way certain situations that helped me to change. The first situation was living far from my son Miguel. It is my youngest son. And being separated from him more than 350 kilometers. This made me realize and change all my priorities to be with him and to be present in his life. The second situation was a car accident that my parents had on the 20th of August 2015. And I always remember that day. Because here they are, Carlos and Florencia. And I always will remember this day because this day completely changed my life. From this day on, I had to take care of them in every possible way you can imagine. It was the biggest struggle of my life. And I had moments of complete despair. But I never stopped fighting for them. My mother died in 2017. And my father passed away last year. These two situations combined unleashed in me a profound desire to change, a profound desire for evolution. So, I began searching for knowledge. One of the things I found first was meditation. Meditation was the single thing that changed my life the most. Meditation gave me the exact vision of what I want, but it also gave me much more. It gave me presence, perspective, and serenity, and allowed me to be in touch with myself. I have to mention also Agora Speakers, our club in Barreiro, which is the host of this convention, was extremely important for my personal development. The challenge of week to week prepare speeches and expose myself was decisive for my financial independence. You know, knowledge is the most important investment you can do in yourself. These are two friends. They have in common that they are two of the most rich men in the world, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. And as I was saying, knowledge is very important. And these two guys, they are voracious readers. So, with meditation and knowledge, I evolved like never before in my life. And my vision became being financially independent. And why this vision? I will tell you why. To achieve a level of freedom I never experienced before. And in that vision, I wouldn't have to work, and I would have enough financial resources for the rest of my life. You can say, impossible dream, but this vision and this dream became part of me. And I started to search for knowledge in this area and became once again obsessed about it. In this area, like in most of areas, all is discovered. You don't need to invent anything. You just have to look at the people who did it before. And there are many examples of people who achieved financial freedom. Most of them has the same principles, but some are conflicting with each other. You just have to search the one that best suits you. You have to prepare your steps very carefully and always assume that you can't be wrong and that you can improve. There's a guy that I like a lot, is Ray Dalio, and in his book Principles, he has this principle. Sincerely believe that you might not know the best possible path, and recognize that your ability to deal well with not knowing is more important than whatever it is do you know. I discovered that there are other principles that are also very important for financial freedom. One of them is this one. Never exchange your time for money. Your time is limited. So you have to earn money with the least effort and time. How many people do you know that work all life from dawn till sunset and merely survive? Too many. The amount of work we do is not related with the amount of money we make, but has more to do with the quality and efficiency. Another principle, once again by Warren Buffett, he will show up more times because it's very important in this area, is that you can never depend on a single source of income. You have to invest your time and your money to create new sources of income. And the more sources you have, the better. And the key is to have uncorrelated sources of income. Investment is the key to growth. Of course, when you invest, you can always lose money. But if you invest carefully, you have a very good chance of return. I have a rule for myself. I call it the 10% rule. I always try to achieve at least 10% on a specific investment each year. And if I don't reach that value, I reevaluate that investment. So, if it isn't a good idea to exchange time for money, because our time is limited, what is the solution? And the solution is passive income. Passive income is the income resulting from cash flow received on a regular basis, requiring minimal to no effort by the recipient to maintain it. There are two words that are very important. Minimal to no effort. There are several types of passive income, such as the resulting from business, from real estate, from royalties, and many others. And what the passive income has special is what will happen when you have passive income. What will happen is that you will make money while you sleep. But also, when you are awake, doing whatever you want. And this is why, and once again I bring you Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is the reason why most people have to work until they die. So, based on these principles, I reached a very simple formula for financial freedom. And the formula is just simple as this. When your passive income allows you to pay your expenses on your regular, continuous, and growing basis, you have achieved financial freedom. Or just as simple as it is here, passive income bigger than your expenses. Just a brief reference to expenses. You have to know your expenses, because this is the only way you can compare them with the passive income. And this also allows you to spend more wisely. You also have to know your global financial situation, your assets minus your liabilities. So now, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to expose myself and show exactly how I did it. First, I created a plan. And my plan was to start investing on real estate. And you may ask me, why real estate? Because real estate was the experience I had. In 2003, I got divorced. And the house we were living, it was my property, and it was too big and expensive just for me. At the time, the housing market was down, so the only possibility was to rent it. So, based on this my former experience, I continued to invest in real estate. Mostly renting houses to increase my passive income stream. So I started to invest. When the things were going in the right way, I took massive and bold action. What was the massive part? The massive part was investing, investing, and more investing. Persistence in action. And the bold part was the moment I invest everything I had, based on my perspective how the housing market was at that time. It was a wise decision, because from that moment on, my passive income started to grow exponentially. And because I was bold, it would be possible to achieve financial freedom earlier. When the money started to enter, I diversified my investment. Diversification allows you to reduce the risk. So, when the money started to enter, first I diversified inside the real estate investment. Then, I diversified beginning financial investment. Then I diversified inside the financial investment in different types and categories of financial investment. And finally, I diversified creating a small business not related with the real estate or financial investment, purely as a form of diversification. And let me tell you one thing. Today, in my continuous real estate and financial investment, diversification is the main key. The last thing was that I eliminated all my bank debt, including mortgage loans. And on the day this happened, I asked to resign from my job as a police officer. It was in March this year. And this happened on a moment my passive income was bigger than my expensive. So I finally have reached financial freedom. I just want to say one or two things about real estate investing, because some of you may think I don't have the money to invest on real estate. At some point, I have to agree with you. But you can always buy real estate from banks with a 100% loan, or you can have creative ways of investing on real estate. But maybe you have to start with smaller investments and go to real estate later. Maybe you can't reach financial freedom in 2 years. Maybe you will do it in 10 or 15. Or maybe you will just improve your financial situation, which is very important. But besides my story, what is really important is what you can do to improve your financial situation. As you said yesterday, we have to take control of our expenses. We have to spend, I'm beginning with spending, we have to spend on the things we want and need, and we have to cut into what's unnecessary. Second, you have to invest. And the biggest investment you can do, it's in yourself. It's in your knowledge, but also in your prosperity, trying to have the best return possible. The third thing is diversifying, or as Warren Buffett says in a simple way, you can't put all your eggs in the same basket. And the last thing, which is the most important for me, is that you have to create new streams of income, mostly passive ones. And as we heard here a lot, you have, in these 2 days, in other areas, you have to be creative, you have to be bold, you have to try new things, and this is a really opportunity to pursue your true dreams. Pursue your true dreams. I never thought that on March this year I would achieve my financial freedom. And I was always thinking, when would that happen? But at some point the question changed. And the question changed to how far can I go? Not in terms of money, but how far can I go as a person? How can I help others? How can I give back? How can I help changing lives? And this was the reason why I wanted to share my story. Because I sincerely think it can benefit you. And let me tell you, no matter where you are now in your life, or how old are you, you can always change, always. You can always improve, you can always evolve. It could be a small change, or it could be a big change, shifting completely your world. It all begins with a thought, or an idea. But the important, it's when you take the first step. It's when you act. And remember that each day, each and every one of you is the master of your destiny. And each day you have the opportunity to choose your path. Thank you.
Thank you. So I like how we